Welcome to everybody's favorite 1960s horror monster, the Mimeo Plasm, and happy Halloween. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, we're going to keep on this one. I like this. We've got we got Frexer and Dreadnought, but this doesn't really go anywhere, so let's go one mulligan. And ooh. Let's go one more go. Okay, we'll keep on this one. And then we have to put 2 cards on the bottom, and I guess we put Rogue's Passage. And then one more, I guess, Entomb, since we already have Phyrexian Dreadnought. Yeah, that'll be okay. And not the best, playing against Leovold, going down to 5, but we're going to try our best. But yes, welcome to Fright Fest. Hope you're excited. It's been a long time since we played Mimeo Plasm, and we're going to have some fun today. Okay, so let's see what we draw into for the turn. We do have Careful Study that will allow us to dump Phyrexian Dreadnought just straight into the graveyard, which will be pretty nice. So let's go Underground River. Let's go for Careful Study. We're going to take a little bit of a damage on this one, but that's going to be okay. So draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Oh, and Life from the Yes. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Let's go Phyrexian Dreadnought, and we'll dump Wood Foothills into the graveyard, and we're going to be set to go with this Life from the Loam. We're playing the Mimeo Plasm. As the Mimeo Plasm enters the battlefield, we get to exile 2 cards from graveyards, which does include our opponent's graveyard. We're going to have Mimeo Plasm enter the battlefield as a copy of one of those creatures. Then we get counters equal to the power and toughness of the other creature. So we've got 12 counters waiting on us for whatever Mimeoplasm wants to get going. Playing against Leovold, each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Then, whenever you are a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. So, let's get this Marsh Flats down, and let's start going for Life from the Loam. That was a very beautiful draw. So let's go Marsh Flats. Let's crack Marsh Flats and grab ourselves, I think we definitely want to grab something with green. Let's go Bayou. Let's go Life from the Loam on Wooded Foothills and Marsh Flats. And if they counter this, hey, so be it. We can always keep dredging, but okay, that's good. Then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to try out for the next Mimeoplasm movie, I'm going to be one of the, the people in the forest that gets killed by Mimeoplasm. Hey, head on over to MTGOTraders. We're having tryouts right now. So give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. If you want to treat yourself, duress, sure. That's going to be Crux of Fate, so yeah, that's fine. But yeah, Ink Gaming, use coupon code JOLT for 10% off anything off the website, so trick or treat yourself. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, there's a link down in the description below. Get your name at the beginning or the ending of the credits to help support cool content like this. And if you can't do that, hey, no problem. Just tell somebody about the channel. So, we got some good stuff going. Let's just kind of keep this dredge going. So let's have Wooded Foothills come down. Let's go and grab a blue-green source. And probably just end up grabbing Breeding Pool. No, let's grab Tropical Island, because if they've got some sort of Force Spike or something like that, I would hate that. That would not be good. We'll go 1 colorless, bring those 2 back, hopefully, and then we can keep the dredge going. So, anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. So, we did cover both commanders, covered our sponsors. It is officially free time. Let's have some fun. Now, it's been a long time since we have played the Mimeoplasm. I did a complete rebuild of the deck. You know, I started with my Volrath Sultai mana base, and just kind of built it back up from there. So, it still has a lot of the same core values from my old Mimeoplasm deck, but there's just been a lot of times where I didn't play Mimeoplasm a lot because it was just kind of clunky. And to be perfectly honest, Mimeoplasm, yeah, let's dredge Life from the Loam. Okay, we'll take that. And let's go Wooded Foothills. And we're going to grab that Breeding Pool. Yeah, that'll be good. Have that come to play tap. Not going to pay 2. And then we'll go for Life in the Loam and Temple of Deceit. So colorless and then green. That way we can still leave at least some sort of blue mana with Tropical Island. And then kick it back over to our opponent. So we're looking at Giant and Phyrexian Dreadnought, which sounds pretty good. That does put our opponent having some sort of removal. But I think that's what we're going to go for. Then worst case scenario, we've got at least Lord of Extinction on the back end to deal with Leovold. We want to make sure that he's under some pretty good pressure. So each player draws a card, then discards a card. Now, if you're wondering why Leovold is playable, I think it's banned in regular Commander, but I am playing 1 versus 1 Commander on Magic Online, which has a very slightly different ban list. Now, I don't think we want to dredge, so let's see what we rip into. Okay, Inkwell Leviathan. That would have been a good dredge option. Let's have Marsh Flats. Forests. Actually, we'll just have Forests enter the battlefield because I can't remember exactly what options we have. Now let's go for a Mimeo Plasm cast. Let's see if this is going to be good. Oh yeah. All right. So and actually, Giant is one of my favorite. Giant Bugface is one of my favorite cards for this. So Arcane Denial. Okay. It's going to send it back to the command zone, and then we'll pass it back over there. So we do have Lord of Extinction to get down. And then if our opponent wants to make us discard a card, that actually works out, because if they go for Lore Broker, we're going to dump Inkwell Leviathan into the graveyard. So that'll be pretty good. Now, we might dump Lord of Extinction, but I really do like Lord of Extinction. We'll draw, yeah, we can only draw one. And I don't think we want to dredge just yet. So, all right, Kodama's Reach, okay. And then you cash in a card draw. But yeah, that'll actually really help us kind of dump some stuff out. If we had a few more mana rocks, I would be kind of tempted to hold on to Inkwell Leviathan. But if we can just make a copy of Inkwell Leviathan, I think that might actually be our next best option. So let's discard Inkwell Leviathan. And that's one of the good things about Life from the Loam, is that it's going to keep us open as far as having our hand full for any sort of discard shenanigans from our opponent. So, because once we end up going Inkwell with Phyrexian Dreadnought, that's going to be 12, that's going to be 19, that's going to be a real nice chunk of commander damage. So, and at the very least, instead of going for Lord of Extinction, we'll probably end up going for Kodama's Reach. That way we can just get ahead on lands, which would be pretty important. So, no Life from the Loam Dredge. And that's for Search for Azcanta. So let's go Kodama's Reach. And then we're going to split this one down the middle. Let's grab Forest and let's grab Islands. We do have a lot of green sources. Let's put a Swamp onto the battlefield. Forest goes into our hand. Let's have Temple of Deceit come down. That one gets some good Scurry, some Scry, some Insanity. Let's put that on the bottom. Let's go for Search for Azcanta. All right, then anything. They've only got 2 cards left in the hand, so thinking we can get some good stuff going with Mimeoplasm, and then pass it back over to our opponent. So, but yeah, as far as the deck, I forgot to make a copy of my deck list on my second screen, but it still has the same core concept. The only thing that we did add, added a few things to the deck. And I'm trying to go to EDH Rec because I pulled a few different things, but we added the new dinosaur, which I'm really excited about. What is it? It is, let me pull it up. Oh, it's the Apex Altasaur, which whenever it enters the battlefield, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. Then whenever it's dealt damage, you can fight another creature. So I just really like the option of just having these board wipes. Like, there's kind of this pseudo dinosaur board wipe. It's a pretty good feeling. So, and our opponent's going to go for Duress. Sure, go for it. There's what are you going to take? Nothing. So it's nothing over there for you. And we did add Volrath to the deck. I do remember adding that in there. But I think at this point, we're just going to go Inkwell Leviathan, because they do have islands over there, and that's Underground Sea and Tropical Islands. So the only thing that we would have to watch out for is some sort of sacrifice ability, but that's okay. So Search for Azcanta. Let's see what's on top of our library. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. And not going to go Life from the Loam. Ooh, Volrath, K. And I still think, actually, yeah, I kind of like Volrath. So let's dump this Marsh Flats into the graveyard. That's going to cut us off draw for the turn. Look at the top card. Do we want to put that into the No, we don't. No, because I actually do like Disallow. And yeah, we'll go and transform Search for Azcanta, because that at least does allow us to grab it off the top and kind of get around that draw effect, which is going to be pretty good. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we go Volrath. We can try to go for Lord of Extinction, but I like having Counterspell backup. So let's have Volrath come down, because that's going to be a 7/5. We can put, well, actually, when they become the target of a spell or ability, draw a card. I don't know if that's exactly what we want to do. No, we need to get some commander damage. If they've got another Counterspell. No, I think we should wait. Sorry if I'm going back and forth on this. Just trying to make sure. Yeah, let's do Lord of Extinction, because this is kind of one of those spells that they may not want to get down. They may not want to counter. It's just a 17/17 dude, and they aren't 16, so they'll have to leave something up for Lord of Extinction, and that will allow us to go for Search for Azcanta, which is going to allow us to grab the top card of our library, which is going to be that Disallow. And we should have enough mana to end up getting down Mimeo Plasm on Inkwell Leviathan. And, plus it's always nice to get down a 17/17 with Lord of Extinction. So, but as far as the actual Mimeo Plasm decks, we're not really running any combos in here. If you're new to the channel, I haven't seen Mimeo Plasm before, one of the things that I like to do is I like to have fun targets for Mimeo Plasm. Now, we do have your traditional targets, invisible stalker with a bunch of counters. You still have to incorporate that in there. But as far as some of the fun stuff that I like to go for, Giant Bug Face is one of my favorites. We also have Lord of the Time Twister. Their hand and graveyard into the library, then draw 7 cards. So even if we end up going search for Azcanta, it's still going to get shuffled in. Oh, that's a bummer. And that's going to kill Lord of Extinction. Oh. At least he's a 1/1, okay. little baby Lord of Extinction, don't even know a word yet. Can't even hold off Leovold. So we're gonna swing in with Leovold. Let's go for the 3-mana activation from Search for Azcanta. Now we do need to get some mill action going pretty bad. So let's see what Search for Azcanta is gonna reveal for us. Oh, we should have gone for Mimeo Plasm. And then, well, we can just get this thing going again. Just go for Life in the Loam, starts dredging if we want to. We'd have to draw into something to... Yeah, I think if we need to rebuild, we might as well go Life from the Loam. So, and we do have a fetch land. So we're going to grab Life from the Loam, put those on the bottom in any order. And that'll be a 1/1, and we can start to kind of rebuild this board state. Now, the only downside is they've got 7 cards in the hand, and it's against Leovold. So we'll see what sort of value stuff they wield into. That's one of the... Yeah, and this is one of those, like, why Leovold is... We'll just, Life in the Loam set us up perfectly, so we can just dredge for the turn. All right. So let's see. So let's dredge Life from the Loam. And then disallow and brainstorm and mana crypt. Okay, so that's not going to get it. Let's go Polluted Delta. Let's go and crack Polluted Delta. Let's grab ourselves Overgrown Tomb. We'll grab Underground Sea. Let's go Life from the Loam with that. That's going to bring it back to our hand. And then while they're tapped out, we're still going to go for this reveal the cards. So we're going to go for an Azcanta trigger just to see what's on top. 1 Power Stone. Okay, put those on the bottom in any order. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Because, we do have to watch out for wheel effects. So Lord of Extinction is going to be a 4/6. So let's go ahead and swing in at Jace. I think that would be good. Because at least that'll get rid of that -3. All right, and then they're going to have to block with Excavator. So we'll see if they end up going for that. If not, or at least we're going to get Jace into the graveyard, which will definitely be a good thing for us. Okay, so that we'll see Excavator block. And if they go for Time Twister again, I mean, it doesn't... It's not going to help us out. I mean, it will get rid of Lord of Extinction. Ooh, and they're going to go for Vampiric Tutor. So let's see what they end up grabbing with Vampiric Tutor. We may end up, if it's Teferi's Puzzle Box, then it's just going to be hard for us to do anything. Now, if they do the -3 on Time Twister, that's going to get rid of Life from the Loam. We did get lucky and have that on the top part of our library after that shuffle. So, but let's wait and see what our opponent does for their turn. Okay, so they do not get hit with that Mana Crypt trigger. And let's see what they're going to cast. They're going to go for the Jace plus up, and they're going to give Lord of Extinction a 6/8. Now, they just kind of put our opponent in a weird spot to where they're going to still swing up with Leovold. This is going to be 15 total commander damage. So we've got 2 more swings with that, because that'll be 18 and then 21 for lethal commander damage. But let's see what else they have. Okay, then they pass it back over. So we're still on the Dredge Life from the Loam option. And Woodfall Primus and Excavator. That is something. And at this point, it's better than nothing. So we go Polluted Delta, which is going to allow us to pump up Lord of Extinction. And I guess what we can do is we'd actually kind of wait. Because Mimeo Plasm is going to be 7. And just in case they go for Lore Broker, we're just going to dump Life from the Loam into the graveyard right now. We have no cards in hand. And that way, if we do have to draw something, that'll at least allow us to go for that. And with the 9/11, we can at least kind of force that that swing in. So let's go and push in. We're going to swing in Lord of Extinction, actually just out of our opponent. We're just going full throttle. We'll see if that Lore Broker is going to block and then go for that draw card, discard a card, which will be another Life from the Loam. That way, we get a little bit of a better look at maybe another option for Mimeo Plasm. So, oh, bummer. Okay, they're going to go Cyclonic Rift. Let's go for Search for Azcanta. Maybe we get lucky and rip into a counter spell. Oh, goodness. Arcane Signet, Hero's Downfall. I guess we just grab Hero's Downfall. Put those on the bottom in any order. And then we go Hero's Downfall on Jace. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. That does net them an extra card draw, which I'm not wild about, but if we can get rid of Jace, it's going to shut off Time Twister and Vampiric Tutor, then hopefully allow us to kind of do something, or at least build up another board state again. Okay, so they're going to go Delay, and then that's going to be Cyclonic Rift. That's going to send a Lord of Extinction back to the hand, and send Lorn Powerstone back, which is, it's not that bad. Okay, so those go back. Let's see if Lore Broker is going to make us discard a card. If they do, that's fine. That'll just be Worn Powerstone again. So, and we can, yeah, we'll go and Dredge Life from the Loam. And then we'll discard Lord of Extinction. And then let's go, once again, we're going to go for Worn Powerstone. And then we'll tap that down. And then we can't go for Life from the Loam, so we're simply just going to go and pass the turn. So, but yeah, with Leovold, it's unbanned in 1v1 Commander. For some reason, there's a lot of stuff that is banned in regular Commander that's not banned in 1 versus 1 Commander. So it's it's kind of one of those, like, you would think that if it's strong enough to be banned in in multiplayer Commander, that it would be banned in 1 versus 1 Commander. But here we are. So. And I don't know. It is what it is. So we have Spellseeker, enters the battlefield, search your library for 2 or less, reveal it. Now, if they end up grabbing a counter spell, that's pretty much, yeah, mana drain. That's going to be a good game. Depending on what we draw into, we might be able to, if we go Lore Broker, dredge some more options because we can cast Mimeo Plasm. Maybe we can get haste somehow. But even then, with us not hitting the Cavern of Souls, it's going to be hard for us to fight through this. So we'll see what's going to happen. But sometimes when you're playing Mimeoplasm, you're playing Reanimator, it's very oppressive. There's just certain things that you have to do. You have to be really aggressive, and our opponent's going to keep us on lockdown at this point. So that's unfortunately, that's what it is. So we almost lived the dream with Mimeoplasm, but that's the way of Sultai Reanimator sometimes. So okay, let's go ahead and go Polluted Delta. Go and crack that. I'm pretty sure we've got another source in here somewhere. Yeah, we'll grab Watergrave, have that come and play tapped. We still have Search for Azcanta. They got the Suspend off Hero's Downfall. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. So we're going to draw into Misty. And we're just going to get rid of Life from the Loam, because, yeah, we're just drawing dead at this point. So, and then we'll go for the Search for Azcanta trigger. I'm not sure what could really help us out at this point. It's going to be 1, 2. Ooh, Crux of Fate, but they've got mana drain, so but we can always try to get a creature down. Let's try that. Yeah, Crux of Fate, something. So we go Crux of Fate, put those on the bottom in any order. Oh, but I don't think we have enough mana because it's going to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we don't have enough mana, so good game to our opponent. They're going to be able to get it on this one. Once I swing with Leovold, that's going to be enough damage, because even if we cast the creature, they have mana drain. If we cast Crux of Fate, they're going to be able to stop it. So yeah, Arcane Denial, they've got a whole assortment of creatures over there that would stop the Halloween. So old Leovold, once again, being the fun police for Halloween. I bet, you know what? And this is a good opportunity to talk about this. I bet Leovold, when he hands out candy at his house, he just gives kids raw carrots. I bet that's probably what happens. But anyways, don't be like Leovold. Don't give out raw carrots at your Halloween house this Halloween, and give out candy. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.